We're at the oldest continually operating stadium in the NFL as you get a look inside Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. We all know this community lives for its Packers, and the green and gold came out of the tunnel a short time ago, and it was loud. We are ready for football, so are they, as the Packers get set to match up with the Miami Dolphins. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. Jakeem Grant now to return. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Check him out. He's going to sit right. Hey, 20. Bandit.
First carry for Frank Gore, the newest and oldest Dolphin. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
Right. Set. 180. 50.
Here's the first carry for Kenyon Drake. Dodges him. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Kenyon Drake, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead. You talk about explosion plays. There's one pretty much right out of the gate.
And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything. Just as you described, right out of the gate, big sprint, touchdown. They're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the Pack up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Even. 4 down. 319. Watch A9. He's yours.
A first carry now for the BYU man. It's Jamal Williams. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Check. Right. Jumbo.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
We got 4. Go to 50. Hey, you block over here. Kill. Gun. Where's 52? Watch 52. 319 on. 319 on.
Working from the gun. Rodgers. He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. Jakeem Grant back deep for Miami. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Taken in at the 22. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak can have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
Let's go.
They'll start the drive with Drake. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Tackle made by Montravius Adams.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
You don't want that? Single. 80. 28. You gotta get the ball. 50. Hip.
Here's Tannehill now on 2nd down. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete. Albert Wilson, the intended receiver there. And it's 3rd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined. But sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Play.
Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. Well, it's one thing to complete that pass on a nice sunny 70-degree day, but in these elements, that's a tough thing to do.
It is, and let's just put the whole thing together, not just throwing the ball. Trying to protect the quarterback now when you got the pass rushers coming at you, and maybe things are a little slippery on the field. The guys trying to cover downfield, wanting to make sure they keep their footing as the guys make their cuts. Looking back and locating the ball, you name it, it's difficult all the way around, but the guy throwing it, he may have the toughest task.
We're all walking.
On 1st down, Drake. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. Eddie Pleasant in on the stop.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter.
Run. Here we go, let's bring it. Let's go.
To throw on 2nd down is Tannehill. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one goes for 24 yards.
Go. 20. Who got 17? Who got 17?
He's running now out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13.
Good stuff. Set. We're 30.
On 2nd down, here's Tannehill. On the left side, this is Stills. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Let's go.
Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches.
He's side right here. He's side on the right. Side on the right. Set. Lady. Four down. Gun to the hunt.
Tannehill hands to Gray. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
When you think of Mike Daniels, you think of strength. Hard to knock off the football, but surprising quickness and ability to move and evade people. How about that play there?
Well, he can squat 600 pounds, so that's how he caught people's attention coming into the league, and he caught our attention right there. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. And there is nothing easy about being a kicker on a day like this.
Yeah, I tell you, not only is the footing tough in the snow, but kicking that ball is like kicking a rock. Very difficult to get any sort of feel on your kicks.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 21.
I'm coming. Hey, check 26. Watch Mike.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he checks this one down to Williams. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Rodgers going to throw. Caught left side by Cobb. Rodgers to Cobb. Good for a Green Bay first.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Tight end right. Hey, 4 down. We are going.
Rodgers now on 1st down. And he is going to go down. They sack him on the final play of the 1st quarter. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out.
zoom. Green 18. Green 18.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. His throw incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Hey, check 26. Hey, guys, check me out. We got 3 now. Jumbo! I got 83. Cut it. 52.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Raekwon McMillan, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Here's J.K. Scott now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
They'll start on the ground with Gore. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Good. Round 80.
A shotgun snap for Tannehill. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Mike Daniels in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. So after the sack of Tannehill, the Dolphins come up here on a 3rd and long.
You ain't doing nothing today. Good. 48. Mike 35. Mike 50.
From the gun, here's Tannehill. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Well, he bounced up after taking a sack and took a shot downfield. I think a lot of us thought maybe he'd run draw in that situation. Instead, tried to get all back in one play.
Yeah, 3rd and long, thought he needed the deep pass, couldn't connect it.
Maybe he was hoping for a penalty downfield to give him the yardage they needed.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Shift. Wide right. No, check that. We got Mike 52 right here. Mike 52. Jumbo! Zoom. 52 is the Mike. Mike 52.
They go play action here on 1st down. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. William Hayes in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
4 down. Check. 4 down. Hey, 88. Mike 52. Zoom. Not today. Yeah, Liz. Mike 52.
On play action, it's Rodgers. Looking deep for Adams. Got a man open, it's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Packers have drawn even here with the extra point to come. Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And they take the lead here at 7-6. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Then the Dolphins getting set to go here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now it's Tannehill going deep here for Stitt. He's got a man complete. And all the way down to the 29. It's a big play there for Miami. 46 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Watch the 10. 280.
On first down, it's Moore. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, that play certainly felt like what I call a tendency breaker. 1st and 10, they dial up a draw play. That's not a normal situation, but give credit to the defense. They weren't fooled at all and really finished off the play.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on second down.
280.
Now Tannehill. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Mike Daniels in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. So after the sack of Tannehill, the Dolphins come up here on a 3rd and long.
30. Do. Zebra.
Out of the gun, Tannehill. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Under crunch. Check. Crunch. 319.
They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
3 down.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves to James.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together. for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see two tight ends on the field, your first thought is that they can run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words.
We got 319, blue 58. 49, check. Cali, strong left, Cali. Zoom. 55's mine, guys, 55. Watch QB jump. Inside. Check the backer. 319,
Now they'll throw with Rodgers. That's complete to his tight end. This is Lance Kendricks. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and put the down marker back to 1.
Hey, 319. Four down. Check three. Back to norm. Whip. Watch the whip. Strong right. Check hot route. Hot. Deuce.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
He's checking crack. Check 52. Right. 52's the mic. Gun. Let's pick it up.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. And he will find his man on the outside. And 15 yards there on the catch and run.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Let's go.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Zoom. 4 down. 319. 33. Hey, check 26. 52. Hold. Watch out.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Tight ends on the Ringo. 4 down. Check.
From the gun, Rodgers got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling.
Let's go.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Gun. 52's the mic right here, over there, right? 52's the mic. Zoom.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. This is caught. Touchdown, Packers. Randall Cobb in the final seconds of the first half. And the Packers add 6 to their lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And the lead is up to 8. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
3 down. Hey, go. 180.
The final shot here before the break. Tannehill going deep here for Stills. And it's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jones. And he will be brought down as time has now run out on this first half of action. So that PI call will give him one more play.
And it'll be an untimed play as well. Now the half will end after this one unless there's another defensive penalty.
So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. And now the Packers going to take another timeout. So as they take it over, we step aside. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. Sanders' kick is good. So we're at halftime here at Lambeau with the Packers taking the lead to the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now the Packers get set to go. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show him one thing, hit him with something else.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Tight into the right, boy. Tight into the right. Move. No. 319. Hey, watch number 33. Watch number 33. He's coming. We got double up. Kelly, strong left, Kelly. Watch Mike. Focus, defense, focus.
So that'll back him up 5.
Hey, Kelly, strong left, Kelly.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Hey. We got 4.
The Packers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
319. Mike, 53. Mike. Over. Exit. Watch 20.
Working from the gun. Rodgers. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, You're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Hey, 4 down, 4 down. Set. Ooh, 88.
Tannehill out to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. He rifles one that's intercepted. First career pick for the rookie Josh Jackson. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. Not the best of plays there as a quarterback. You're right-handed, rolling left, trying to throw it that far downfield.
I remember a coach of mine saying, son, that's the equivalent of trying to get the car keys out of your pocket with your opposite hand while you're trying to run. You just can't do it.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 21.
We got three. 3 down, 3 down. Box it, box it, box it, box it. Hey, check 26. Over. Double up. Jumbo. Jumbo. 53, check 53.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Strong right. 4 down. Gun. Hey, Mike 52. Gun. J. Mike. I got him.
Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. The rookie Minkah Fitzpatrick with a pick. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Well, why do you go out and spend a first-round pick on a defensive back? Plays like that. The rookie gets his first interception.
Exactly right, and you're trying to limit the number of plays an offense runs. You're trying to limit the number of possessions they have. And he was a guy that I targeted coming out of college and rated very highly for his playmaking skills on defense.
And now he has his first career interception. Out to Drake. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Kenyon Drake with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Dolphins use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. He's given him a little jolt, just gave him the lead there, but 2 TDs now in the game.
And that jolt puts them in the lead. What a terrific job by him. He is carrying the ball and simply saying, I want to win.
And now he's hoping his defense has that mentality as they try to hang on to that lead. Back to throw, Tannehill. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. So that effort gives him a 3-point cushion and guarantees that a field goal going forward won't beat them.
Yeah, that's really good strategy because that's all you care about. Not getting beat at this stage. At least give your team a fighting chance.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Second and 6, just inside the 30. Again, it's Jones. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The Packers on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4.
You got 4. Zoom. Hey, check 26. All day.
To throw is Rodgers. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Raekwon McMillan. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And now with the play clock winding down, Adam Gase says, let's take a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. It's Gore. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. The first-round pick, Jair Alexander, making the tackle. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Hey, 40!
To throw on second down is Tannehill. It's caught. Stills right side. And down inside the 15 he goes. That'll put him right at 99 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
Under 10. Mike, 42. Block.
Tannehill on first down. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Josh Jones. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line. Amendola, the intended receiver, just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out.
Come on, you 1-8. Still going. Hey, watch this,
They'll try to get this running game going with Williams. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Tackled that time by Jerome Baker out of Ohio State.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last two drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
One sec. Look out for number 30. Look out for number 30. Zoom. Get him. Jumbo! Check back.
On second down, here's Rodgers. No, he almost had it. Already with one interception, just missing his second there.
I think someone's going to get into QB1's ear when he gets to the sideline. Already thrown an interception. That one should have been picked. Look, let's just be honest about it. That'd be the second person in his ear because he's hearing it in the huddle right now.
Not the start to the game he wanted. Like you said, the pick on the opening drive, second drive, not much better. The Packers on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9.
Tight end's right. Hey, boys, we got 4 down. Cali. Strong left, Cali.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. And out come the Dolphins now. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
Strong right. Good. With 30. Watch the edge.
Back to the ground, this time with Gore. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
50-50. Go. Run. Check, 42. Ready, hunt.
Gore again here on 1st down. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Back now at Lambeau. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter.
Please contact District Services or security on e-unit for assistance.
Set. 30.
They'll try the air now with Tannehill. And he finds Danny Amendola. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. A Dolphin first down as Tannehill is on target to the former Patriot Danny Amendola. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Cut. Blue 88. Here we go, D. Get up.
On first down, Tannehill. A dump off here for Gore. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
Here we go.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's second and 11.
Here we go. Here we go. Cut. Blue 88. 42.
Tannehill now to throw. And over the middle, this is Parker. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. And a nice gain at 21 yards. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. First and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. And now with the play clock winding down, Adam Gase says, let's take a timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They come out here in the eye.
Go.
They'll try and pound it in with Drake. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on second down.
Block. Good. With 30. Five down. Stand up in. Check 9. You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there. Bang.
They get it to him running left. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Kenyon Drake taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. What a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Moore now to return. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On first and 10, here's Rodgers. Caught left side by Cobb. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Now he'll escape to his left. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him to first. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the first, and stop the clock as well.
And you know in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movements. But for a quarterback, he has to continue to be what we call a flatliner. Level in everything he does and read the clock, feel it in the pocket, and go at the appropriate time.
Throwing now is Rodgers. And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down. Charles, I think back to your earlier statement about the visitors being the underdogs, needing to win that turnover battle. And this defense, they forced 2 turnovers so far, a big reason why they lead this game.
Yeah, and I know defenses always talk about getting turnovers in bunches, getting those takeaways. 2's not a bunch, but it's plenty in this game, exactly the formula they need. I got to tell you, partner, I like it when you think back to something I said. It actually comes true. It's actually right.
It happens more often than you might think. And that's caught inside the 30. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done.
26.
An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Hey, 88.
On first down, Rodgers. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down.
Alert! 3 down!
From the gun, it's Rodgers. He's going to get this to the rookie, Equanimeous St. Brown. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
The Packers on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 7.
You got 3 down.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. They just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. They go play action here on first down. This will be caught just inside the 10. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Box it. Yeah, Liz. Hey, check 26.
Rodgers again now. The quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. In the slot on the right is Graham.
58.
They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Packers are back within a score. They get 1 more as the extra point's up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3-and-out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Let's go. Got 20.
Throwing now, Tannehill. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle.
Zebra. Set. 288. Go. Zebra.
Tannehill. Over the middle, complete. That's Parker. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Tannehill with a hook up to Parker for the Dolphin first.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Let's go.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Set. Got 20.
Drake off the give from Tannehill. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. And now the Packers going to take another timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7.
Set. Got 30.
On 2nd down, it's Drake. And he'll get this across the 40 and up to about the 42-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. As they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game.
Here we go.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4.
Set. Got 30.
On the give, this is Drake. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. It's a gain of 8 there, and that should be enough to seal the victory.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Tannehill to a knee, and that ought to be the final act of this ball game. Oh, partner, there's something special about a game in the snow. Just always fun in these elements, although a little chillier up here in the open-air booth. The only thing that's not fun is that we got the mid-game notification that our flight was canceled tonight, but we'll deal with that later. It was really a fun game to watch, though.
It was, and there is something special about games played in the snow because the element of surprise really kicks in. You don't know how they're going to handle the ball, if someone's going to make a dramatic play just out of nowhere, and all of a sudden it just changes the course of things. But a big shout out to our crew to make sure that we were comfortable up here, as comfortable as one could be. In these elements, they took care of us and made sure we were dressed properly.
So for Miami, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Seahawks in Seattle. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.